The sad reality is it's almost standard business practice for us to be mistreated in the workplace and nobody bats an eye twice. So a few years ago, I worked for a company. I won't say the name, but they're a franchise in the family entertainment industry and have about 160 locations across the states. I want to point out that I did not apply for this role. They recruited me for this role as a senior accounts receivable manager, and I reported to the CFO. The second week of my employment, they fired the two people on my team, leaving me with no help to do the work of three people and a manager in title, which left me working 12 plus hours on a daily basis. Also, during this time, my husband was battling cancer and had been for over 7 years, which they did know about. So, on March 2nd, 2020, my husband and I had a doctor's appointment where the oncologist informed us that we were at the end of the road with his journey and he had about 6 to 12 months to live. I immediately went to work to let my superiors know the situation, and they asked how could they support me, and the response that I gave them was, I need help. Unfortunately, help never came because 13 days later, COVID happened and we went to a remote environment. 2 weeks after that, they laid off 25% of the work staff, and the rest of the staff took a 15% pay cut. By May 1st, the entire team was back in the office with only one remote day per week. I stayed in the remote environment because I was not going to put my husband at risk during that time. But I did express to my boss that it was becoming a little difficult for me to meet my deliverables and care for my husband. So he agreed to allow me to do some of my work at night. So during the day, I attended all the meetings, answered all the service tickets that came in for the accounting team. And at night, I did my actual deliverables. So in essence, they had me on call 24/7. In fact, on September 8th, the morning of my husband's death, at 3:30 a.m., I was working, sitting at his deathbed, and his oxygen dropped to 10%. It was at that moment I emailed my boss and told him I needed to log off because this more than likely was going to be my husband's last day alive. He passed away later that day, and the very next day, my CFO and the HR director were on the phone with me asking me to work on call.
You have to put your bread up, man. If you gotta try to survive off one income. It's gonna be hard, but you gotta try to survive off one income so you can be able to put that extra money up, invest it, and do something else with it.